In part one of this discussion, I was speaking about how Christians end up in kind of a false belief cycle of feeling fear and pretending to believe really, really hard, and then ending up feeling even worse because they're not getting the promised results. That then leads to even more guilt and fear that they're not believing enough. What I wanted to discuss is what belief actually is. You see, this isn't something that's taught in many churches. I can't speak for all churches, of course, but I can speak to my own experience and what I've seen in people around me, and absolutely certainly televangelism. Belief is taught as if it's something we inherently know how to do. And that is such a false concept that it's genuinely harming people. Because they feel like they should know how to do it, but that they are doing it wrong, which leads them to feel flawed and broken, and that's a true tragedy. So let's talk about what belief actually is. And I received this information as a download from the universe because I myself was wondering, and I often find when I begin to wonder about something I don't know, the information just appears before me like a letter mailed directly to my brain. This is one of those letters, and here and there I sprinkle in my own thoughts, but you'll get the idea. Belief is not a state of being, which is how the church seems to describe it. It's not a doorway you just walk through and then you're there. You don't live in belief, you don't exist in belief. Belief is not a place. Many people seem to feel, often because they were falsely taught this, that you choose to believe and then you are a believer and then that's that. The truth is, belief is an action. It's as simple as you acting out your belief. For example, if you believe that the word cat represents a four-legged, small, furry, pointy-eared, sharp-fanged and clawed creature with big eyes and a long, slender tail that cleans itself well, behaves erratically, then you will go through life calling such creatures cats and treating them as such. The belief isn't a place to be. You don't go into the belief in cats room. It's how you act towards and speak about those creatures. A cat is a cat, right? And this is a difficult concept for me to explain, so I truly hope that this is coming through okay. Belief is a practice, not a place or a state of mind. It takes practice. So one of the recent things I've personally struggled with is the concept you hear a lot in esoteric circles of raise your vibration. Excuse me, how exactly do I do that? And the answer I got to this was multifaceted, as they so often are in downloads. First, through the things we in our mind say to ourselves, our self-talk. How we see ourselves is quite literally our vibration made into thought. So if we are existing in a low vibration, we will have a lot of negative self-talk. In fact, one of the lowest vibrations is self-hatred, or hating the very core of your being. And this low vibration is so often taught to us by organized religion, and especially the still far too puritanical culture that exists in the United States. This shows up in purity culture and people being taught concepts like, quote, too good to be true, and that they are undeserving sinners who only by the grace of God get to be saved. And even then, it's only if they're a, quote unquote, good enough Christian and believe hard enough. That culture literally teaches people that they can't trust themselves, and that they are inherently bad or evil. And don't even get me started on how it villainizes other cultures, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, people with gender and sexualities other than cis-het, and other religions and spiritualities. So to raise your vibration in this aspect, positive self-talk is an absolute must. When you catch yourself saying you can't, or that you don't deserve, or that it must be too good to be true, or it's too much for you to ask, or that you don't get to say no, recognize it. Stop yourself mid-negative self-talk sentence and say, hold on, I do not deserve this. I'm amazing and wonderful, and my very existence is a miracle, and I deserve love and beautiful things and a peaceful, wonderful life. Even if it feels weird at first, and I promise you it will. Ask me how I know. Just keep going. Keep quieting that voice by contradicting it, and teach it who's the boss here. I mean, it's your head. You're the one that has to live there. The second facet is how we speak aloud, how we write, and how we type. And this is very similar. It's a space where we are saying to other people that we don't deserve to be treated in a fair, loving manner, that we don't deserve compassion or abundance. Stop it. But in all seriousness, stop qualifying everything you say. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop writing things like, I just wanted to say that I think this might not be the best thing for us to do to maintain the company budget. Instead say, this is not the best thing for us to do to maintain the company budget. See the difference? In one, you're taking every measure to show you don't believe in your own opinion, that you don't trust your own words, and in the second, you're simply speaking your mind. And I know some of you need to hear this, so I'm going to say it. It is okay for you to speak your mind. It's not just okay, it is necessary. The world needs you to show up as your authentic self and speak your mind. The world needs your perspective. And no, they may not always like it, and you may have to deal with pushback, but just keep on pushing. You know what you know, and you must trust in your own value and knowledge and everything that you bring to the table. And can I just tell you that me making these videos on this channel terrified me. But I got the push. I got the call. I was told there are people who need to hear what you have to say. There are people who need to hear the downloads you're receiving. There are people who need it in your personal voice, who are going to resonate with just the way that you do it. It's not enough that other people are already saying similar things. It's not enough for you to type it on a blog nobody ever looks at or something like that, which I absolutely did for like 10 years. To be fair, when I started, YouTube wasn't quite a thing as of yet. But point is, I'm here. I finally started listening to the call, and you're here listening to me, so I can only assume that you're one of the people that I am doing this for. So just think, who might be losing out if you don't follow your call, if you don't speak your authentic voice? Who are you potentially letting down by not doing that? So, here's the secret that I've learned. The people in your life who refuse to listen, or who disparage your knowledge, or put you down, or set you aside in any way, are not people whose opinions you should be listening to. They are coming from a place that lacks kindness and respect for you. So why on earth are you giving them the time of day? It's good to still be polite in professional situations, but do not internalize what they say and certainly don't accept it. And if it's not a professional setting, throw politeness out the damn window. Tell them to fuck off. Okay, that might be extreme, but if you're feeling it, go with how you feel, because that is what matters. Who you are and how you feel you should live your life is the only thing that matters in how you live your life. Everyone is going to have an opinion about it, but who cares? They aren't living your life now, are they? So raise your vibration in how you interact with other people and teach them that you will be respected, or you will take your knowledge and gifts and strengths somewhere else. Another way to use this facet is through journaling and through affirmations. I personally found the idea of speaking affirmations aloud to myself in the mirror was intensely uncomfortable, and so I did not do so for decades, despite hearing about it all the time and how helpful it was. And I was just like, okay, that's not for me. And that's that negative self-talk we throw out the window. Instead, we find solutions that work for us, and it is okay to take an idea and change it to accommodate yourself. Things I learned from finding out I'm autistic. Anyway, what I finally figured out was that I could decide how I chose to do affirmations, and I could do it in a way that makes sense for me. So what I opted to do was set aside a notebook, and in that notebook I started writing 5 positive things about myself every single day. After months of doing this, I saw genuine progress and change in my mindset. I mean, you can probably hear it in what I'm saying. I did not think or feel this way before. Last year at this time, I didn't think or feel this way. Not at all. For example, the videos that I'm making today would never have been possible. I was entirely too afraid to really put this out in the world in a tangible way, but I've built my confidence and self-trust through daily affirmations. And I get that it just doesn't sound like something that would work. I mean, you're just writing 5 sentences in a book every day. Like, what the heck is that going to do? And yet, it works. And I'll get into another video as to why, but you don't have to believe it will work. This is a situation where you should just do this one silly little thing. It takes only a few minutes of time. It's a very small commitment to make, but it is a commitment to building a better and happier you, so why not? It's also a great way to do some daily self-care, and we all need more of that. Truly, what do you have to lose from writing 5 positive statements about yourself every day? I've even created a deck of validation cards that I'll link in the description. You can draw 5 cards from the deck each day and write those in your journal. But you can also search for affirmations online, because there's a ton, and see what resonates with you. And especially if it's something that you initially feel like, oh no, I don't deserve that, or oh, I can't say that, then you definitely, absolutely should do the thing you're telling yourself you can't. Because that clearly indicates that's a limiting belief you need to shatter in order to feel more whole and to really experience self-love. And the third facet to this is actual sound vibrations. This can be vocal, as in singing, or it can be through instruments. You need to alter the vibration of the space around your physical body, and that will affect your aura and help to uplift your vibration. And this is something I'm going to go into much more depth in upcoming videos about manifestation, witchcraft, and all that jazz. But a very simple explanation is this. Everything around you has a vibration. The very materials that things are made of have a vibration. Each kind of atom has a specific and unique vibration. Matter is literally made up of these vibrations and energy. So what you surround yourself with affects your personal vibration slowly over time. Hint, that includes people. Just saying. Surround yourself by high vibration objects, plants, and especially nature in general is so very high vibration. Just hanging out near a tree can help raise your vibration. Compared to us, trees are ancient and wise and exist in a deep, deep state of meditation. Remember how Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree? See the wisdom in that story for what it is. Trees have the power to raise our vibrations. All plants do. As I said, I'm going to be working on some videos going much, much more in depth on that concept, but for now, just know that sound cleansing is very powerful. Using a bell, chimes, tuning fork, or even singing notes yourself, you can raise the vibration of the air around you and thusly bring your aura in tune with those higher vibrations. The more you do this, the more your aura learns to stay in those higher vibrations. So doing all of these 3 facets of raising your vibration as a regular practice is how you show the universe you believe in the power of vibration and how you start to see results and improvements, both in your mind and your life. The improvements professed to come from raising your vibration. I hope you enjoyed this illumination of what a more vague esoteric concept actually means and how you can take practical steps to use it in your daily life. Please let me know in the comments if this was beneficial information for you, and if you'd like more videos of this type, explaining esoteric concepts in a practical and useful way. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.